take them all out for the big bounce off the bottom. That's a big shakeout. This is what happens to the Bulls when they got that exuberance. I can't even keep up with this kid's talk. All right, we're in bear market. We told you people not to get involved in that. Whoa, look at that.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Thursday night, February the 23rd, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Hoss.
What's up, gang? How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty dang good myself. Sorry I missed the show last night. I was busy beating people down on the ice.
I forgot all about that because I put you into payroll. Let me take you off.
Well, oh, no. I'll walk away right now.
There are no nights off here, my friend. I'm sorry. I got to take you out of payroll for last night.
Hey, I was chatting you guys up in the locker room. Come on now.
I'll call the accountants later in the show. Also, joining us on the program tonight, he's back for the second night in a row. That might be a record. I'll keep track for you. Don't worry. Stock Sumo.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back on.
All right. You gonna build a little run here or what?
I'm gonna get some momentum and I'm gonna keep the wind in the sail.
All right. Welcome back to the show again. Also joining us on the program tonight, we have QT Cal.
Hey there, Mike. How are you?
I am good. How about you?
Great. And I must say that you sound extra clear tonight.
I got all the studios tonight. We're in beta testing mode. I'm just waiting for me to push the wrong button.
It's a beautiful thing.
And I'm sure that will happen sometime tonight because there's about a quadrillion of them. All right. Also joining us on the program tonight, and he's out there on location in Jacksonville, Florida, Mr. Cop.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you?
I am fantastic. How is that hotel you're staying in?
Nice. Very nice. You guys went way above and beyond on this one.
You guys?
Well, I mean, it's the big extra living room. That's a big bonus.
You're not using the company card for your business, are you? I'm not going to get a phone call later in the week saying, Mike, I had to use about $500-600, am I?
You never know.
All right, that's okay. You'll just work a week free, I guess. Whatever. It's all good. Now, I am not so sure if he's with us, but he's on the call, and I'm going to give him a shout-out. He's never been on the radio before. He might be a little nervous. Go Trader! Oh, Trader, join us. Say hello.
Damn, he must be nervous.
Aww.
He went running for the hills. Okay.
I don't think he was going to join us.
All right. Last but never least, from the Big Island, well, not really. He's from the small island. Sifakia.
Aloha, STT Ohana.
Mahalo.
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 And it's Maui no Ka'oi, not the Big Island, Mike.
That's what I said you're on the small island.
Small island, big personality.
Isn't Maui the small
big
island?
Mouth, I got. It's not the smallest.
That's right there. Trust me.
It's the best.
Whenever you can drive across the state in an hour, it's small. Is that correct?
Take you all day to go around the island.
It did take me all day because I was on that stupid road to Hana.
You had Polynesian paralysis. You were being one dumb Holly. Get out of my way. Pull over. Move.
Oh,
and then
God. For those listening, if you ever have to go to Maui and people recommend go to Hana, do yourself a favor, don't go. You'll thank me later.
Wow.
I could tell you a story about that, but that would take the whole show up, and we have a lot to do on the show tonight. Wrapping up the week here, we're going to bring you another stock spotlight. Now, tonight's stock spotlightist person is QT Cal. QT, take it.
Thank you, Mike. Tonight's stock spotlight is ITKH Holding Corporation, ticker symbol ITKH. It is OTC Pink Current. And as of February 13th, 2012, we have an AS of $1,892,000,000, OS $481,056,539, and a float of $160,775,867. The website is www.iteknik.com. An overview of the company. ITKH Holding Corporation is a diversified company whose core business comes from the telecommunication industry, and it owns a wholly owned subsidiary called Send Global Corporation. Send Global Corporation is a leader in providing web-based calling services from cell phones to international destinations. Services are available for purchase via the web and also at more than 3,000 retail locations nationwide. ITKH is positioned for rapid growth in the near future, recently expanded their voice over IP with multiple new carrier contracts and added new switching hardware and software. It has introduced new products and services designed to target the telecommunication sectors that they serve. And I am so happy to announce that we have a special guest with us tonight who's going to help us out. He is one of the gurus on the ITKH iHub board, moderator Mr. Roger Wilco. Roger, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
So glad to have you.
I'm very happy to be here.
So we know that the wholly owned subsidiary Send Global Corporation is kind of the big company under ITKH Holding Corporation. So would you like to tell us a little bit about Send Global Corp and what you found? Because you have a fabulous intro message on iHub, by the way.
Thank you. ITKH is at the moment their only subsidiary company. Send Global is for ITKH. Send Global basically, they're in the calling card business, which is a very popular business and can be quite profitable. Company's been very successful in the last year and been showing a profit, and it seems to be doing very well. The financials just released in the last week, and it looks very, very good. And I'm all about, of course, balance sheets, so that's the first thing that I look for as far as the company's concerned. But a little bit about Send Global. Send Global, what they do is they sell calling cards. Most of these calling cards are sold in retail locations. Their target market seems to be ethnic type of stores, such as an ethnic food store or an ethnic type of a variety store. And they sell a variety of different cards based on their different target markets. Some of their markets perhaps is like Alo Baladi, which is looking for the Middle East routes, Mexico Minutes, which is looking for Mexico, India Minutes, which is looking overseas. And they sell these cards in these different stores, which the people purchase. And what's really neat about this card is that when they purchase this card, anybody in the family can use the card. And the person who purchases the card never can actually recharge the card without having to go back to the retail location that they purchase it at. So which means that they can do it, from their texting, from their texting or their telephone, or they can actually go on to a website and recharge it right off of the Send Global website itself. What's really neat about this is that the retailer who sells the card receives perpetual revenues for selling this card, which means this $25 calling card that they sell at A&B variety store, for instance, could ultimately be worth hundreds or even $1,000 to that retailer, as the person who owns the card continually recharges the card to call overseas. So this is a real neat thing. It's a big incentive for the retailers, is recurring revenues, and of course it's real big with the consumers that are buying it, because the rates are a lot cheaper than purchasing it through making a regular phone call overseas or to Mexico or to wherever. So it's a win-win as far as I can see all this.
Great. So we have a website for Send Global. Just want to throw that out there. It's Send Global, SENDGLOBAL.com, and that'll take you to the home site. What Roger just spoke of in regards to different rates you can do immediately on the home site, as well as some special features. One of the things that you brought up, Roger, is in regards to the retail stores that are selling these cards. And just want to make mention of the website there, which is easyposa.com. Here you can become an affiliate and sell what iTechnic is, or in regards to their business for Send Global. Some of the things that I saw, which were really neat, is if you go to the features portion on the website. Roger, have you looked at the features in regards to Send Global and some of the things that they offer?
Well, yeah. First off, the Send Global is for the retailers. That's where the retailers, they do their training and, get familiar with the product. They can take new employees, put them onto the Send Global site, and they can learn about the product in 5 or 10 minutes. So the Send Global is a tool for the actual retailers themselves. For the consumers would, of course, be spun off to, My Mobile 11 or Ala Baladi or Mexico Minutes, or some of their other sites, which is really neat.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, what's neat with the Easy Posa, of course, is the big thing they emphasize is once you sign a customer up, they are yours for life. That's huge. That's just absolutely huge. You sell that card one time, and you're making money forever on that thing, and that's just a good thing, and that's something that retailers can get really excited with, because they got money coming in, perpetual revenues always coming in. The more the cards they sell, the more the money that comes in. It's nice. That's a good thing to have. And it's very exciting.
Very nice. Looking at some of those features that we're focusing on, they have a speed dial feature where you can add numbers that you call most often, the speed dial on the Send Global the card. Also, there's a pinless dialing. Roger, now you're familiar with the pinless dialing as far as that being a very easy feature for customers that call on iTech.
I've never called overseas other than Skype, but
you brought up some really good things as far as the Easy Posa and having retailers actually have revenues or whatever they sell in their stores, they have revenues for life. It sounds like it's connected to also any customer recharging on that particular card that they purchase in their store.
Irregardless of where the customer recharges their card at, whether they do it through texting or from the internet, they go back to that retail store or to any other retail store, for the recharging of the card, the original seller receives residual commissions. That's a win-win. That's just huge in my eyes.
Amazing.
The retailers are winning big on this thing, and the consumers are winning big on this thing. You also have to look at the other side of the coin, and that is the consumer. Why is it such a great deal for the consumer? Well, the first thing is that, Mr. Smith can call down to Mexico, and he can give this information to his kids, his wife, the grandmother. I mean, everybody can can make phone calls using the information from just that one card. So
Amazing.
So being able to register multiple phones, that's huge. And especially in a lot of instances where you're dealing with people that don't necessarily speak English. So, I mean, this is information that can be pre-programmed into a phone, so it's easy that they can call home, and easy and inexpensive to call home.
That's a huge feature right there that you just talked about. In regards to the pinless dialing, how many times has anybody used a calling card when they're out of the States or when they're traveling, or especially back a few years ago when we didn't have cell phones as prevalent as they are today? But with that pinless dialing feature, setting up an account where you can add multiple phones to that account, and all you have to do is call the access number and you're in, and they recognize your phone. That's a very easy feature, I can imagine, for someone that's dialing overseas.
Yeah, and it's especially friendly for city driving and freeway driving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, doing 60 miles an hour and entering your PIN code. It's dangerous.
Oh, no. I can imagine. And also, I'm looking at some of the other features in regards to the auto recharging. I looked at the website. What was pretty neat was the fact that once the account gets down, it's a pay-as-you-go feature. So that's pretty nice, too, because a lot of people don't want to be caught up on contracts. They don't want to have those kind of things bog them down. Those types of contractual obligations are never very easy for people to get into. So the pay-as-you-go feature, where they have the auto recharge, I read that once your account gets down to about $3, you have the option of having an auto recharge where they would charge it up to a certain amount where you have your minutes, which I'm sure would be very easy for people who don't want to be bogged down by contracts.
All that and nothing worse than making a phone call and getting cut off in the middle of a phone call. I mean, I think we all still remember, pay phones. Remember they used to exist out there, and you'd stick money in. Of course, it'd take like $1,000, and then of course you'd be in the middle of the phone call, like, Mom, I'm at, and of course it would click and say, put in $9, or whatever, and so the auto recharging function is just huge.
Very nice.
Absolutely huge, but it's not only huge, but it's business smart.
Very much so. They also have a text feature as well, which is quite. It's also very prevalent in our day and age with mobile texting, and they also have a mobile app that I saw that is going to be, or that they're working on right now. Which obviously we know that mobile applications are the wave of the future for the smartphone, so that's a very good feature as well. So.
Yeah, smartphones are huge, and they're just going to get bigger and bigger, and it's just hard to believe that you can actually watch television on your phone. But Star Trek days are here now. I mean, just you think of the old Star Trek series and all the things that came true. The communicator that they had, and that's just reality today, and it's just fantastic, really.
Great. So do you have any information in regards to some of the more recent press releases, Roger, that you can maybe share with some of the shareholders or people that are listening to this show?
Well, the majority of their press releases seem to talk about their financials. Company doesn't promote themselves a lot. They do put out information periodically about themselves. Press releases in the past have talked about that they found more inexpensive ways in which to route the phone calls. I know they're using a lot of this IP stuff for the interfacing of their phone system. Last September, or right around last September, they did put out a really interesting press release that raised my eye, and that dealt with the fact that the ITKH, of course, the Sen Global is doing well. They've been profitable, and they've been profitable all through 2011. And according to a CEO interview that I listened to recently, Fred Wicks, the CEO, is saying 2012 is going to be actually a little better of a year. So that's fantastic. But the company actually has hired another company to start looking into the prospects of another acquisition. And so they are in the exploration stages at this moment, by utilizing a company that's doing a search to try to find another company that would be a value or a mix to go in with the Sen Global division. So they're looking at growth down the road, and they're already exploring those possibilities. But obviously Sen Global has been a huge hit for them people, and we're hoping that very soon it'll be a huge hit for the shareholders. and that'll be huge once the shareholders can really start to win on this thing.
Excellent information. Just looking at some of the areas that the CEO is focusing on, as far as he really did focus a lot on Sen Global and their in-house system and software and the personnel that are driving the new products and services, which I believe is the most exciting feature of the company in regards to what they're currently into. So that's pretty good stuff there. As far as them being a holding company, Roger, you touched on that brilliantly in regards to their acquisitions and mergers. They're always looking for similar companies, like-minded companies, whether public or private, to expand their market and to look at other technology that would further develop their company. So very good points for that.
Yeah, and I think that he did touch upon the idea that Easy POSA interface could be used for other applications. So yeah. I think they're looking at the future as well when they're looking at this thing. Fred Wicks really, although I've never actually personally talked to the man, I have spoken to several people who have spoken with the man. He really seems to be a pretty shrewd CEO. He really seems to know what he's doing. When he bought this Sen Global, company, this company was not making money. They were losing their butts. And he turned his company around and turned them into a profitable situation. And he's done a lot for these people. And I see their future. Their future is very exciting here.
Very good. I mean, the one thing that I got from just the amount of time that you guys have spent in the iBox at Investors Hub in regards to the company is just really dissecting the work that's been going on over the last year. And one thing that caught my eye just in regards to the fiscal year earnings, I mean, having a profit or sales, I should say sales of almost $12 million for 2011 fiscal year. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yes, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's very, very impressive. They're doing about $12 million a year. Fred Wicks did mention in a recent interview that the company seems to be growing at a rate of about 2.9% a year, which is not the greatest in the world. I mean, everybody, in the picture-perfect world would like to see growth in that areas of 10 and 15%, but the company is growing, and $12 million a year is certainly not shabby as far as that's concerned. I also looked at the gross profits. Probably the only other negative aspect that I've seen on the company, the gross profits are certainly not at quote-unquote retail type of numbers yet. In retail, we're looking for, that 18 to 25% range, for gross profits. Obviously, this company is working on much thinner margins than that. The projection for 12 months as far as gross profits are concerned is $1.6 million. So if we take 1.6 million into 12 million, that's something 8%. I'm just off the top of my head. So the margins are certainly a little bit less than what you would be looking for. But of course, it's not a retail company either. So I guess a smaller margin with a more efficient operation is just fine. The net income, which of course is the bottom line, what do you show to the IRS? Of course, anybody that's in business, and I'm a businessman, and I'm sure, and so are you people are, and of course, you want to show profits, you don't want to show extraordinary profits. You don't want to give Uncle Sam too much of your money. So you're looking at a 12-month range. Their net income, they're showing about $260,000 is what the projection is. 3 months, in the $71,000 range. It's he seems to manage the books and the numbers. The numbers look good. I did take some time. I looked into some of the details of their balance sheet, and their balance sheet, does have a lot of interesting things on there. You can tell that this is a real company anytime that you read balance sheets. I look for things like payroll taxes. Companies that have bogus balance sheets don't pay payroll taxes. These guys paid $13,875 worth in the last 3 months. So you know that they got employees, and you know that this is a real operation when you look at, the numbers, things like equipment leases and group life insurance, stuff like that, health and dental insurance. All these things are on their balance sheet. So, absolutely 100% convinced. And anybody that's in the OTC, that's the first thing we all joke about in the background. Is it a real company or is it not a real company? This is definitely a real company.
Very nice. I think you lay that out very nicely for us. Another thing that was impressive in your iBox is in regards to them lowering their debt. I believe that it stated something that the debt was lowered by almost $200,000, which was a reduction of 35%. I'm not sure if that was for fiscal year 2010, but it said the company that was continuing to focus on debt reduction, which of course is another big part of, the OTC pink world. I mean, reducing debt as well as making profit is always a good combination. So thank you for laying that out so well for us.
Yeah, their current liabilities is, the current liability sheet looks good. December 31st, 2010, you were looking at $844,000 in debt, which is not bad for a balance sheet. I mean, but December 31st, 2011, they had actually trimmed that number down to $644,000. But the most notable thing is, that their long-term debt is disappearing. Their long-term debt has dropped from $978,000 at the end of 2010 to $772,000 at the end of 2011. So, as we're going through this 2012 year, that they're just running out of debt. Is what it looks like to me on the books. They're just, they're going to get to a point they're just not going to have anything else left to write off. They're going to actually have to pay taxes on stuff.
That's good stuff. I mean, especially with our economy and the way things have been going over the last few years. I mean, my goodness, for them to have, such a business plan that produces these numbers and also shows them moving along in a positive direction is excellent. So I'd like to see that kind of stuff. I'm sure the shareholders do as well.
Absolutely. And it also makes you speculate as an investor is, what are their long-term plans with this company? I mean,
right.
I'm looking at these balance sheets. I'm seeing all this debt disappearing, and I just have to always pose the question to myself, where is this? What are they going to be doing with this company 6 months from now? Is this company going up on the sale? Are they going to sell this company? I mean, if I was going to sell this company, I would want my balance sheet to look like what their balance sheet looks like.
Wow, very interesting that you raised that. I mean, thinking about that concept, you're right. Those are the things that you look for when or people that are looking for companies that are healthy. Their balance sheet should look somewhat like what you described.
And for instance, when you look at the stockholders' equity section, I mean, that's always a giveaway to me is, when they have like A to Z preferred stock. And this company doesn't have that. There's no D preferreds, F preferreds, Z preferreds.
Right. The further you get down on the alphabet, the more scared people get or the more they perspire.
Oh, my God. By the time, usually for me, by the time they get to C or D, like I'm already on to another stock, looking at it there. But they do have preferred shares out there. But obviously the preferred shares are there so that the company can maintain control of their subsidiary. Because obviously if they sell the company, they can sell the company but still have control of ITKH while they sell off Sen Global. And right. So you can see that, possibly they're looking to sell the company down the road. And of course, them announcing that they're looking to make another acquisition just makes me go, right. What is the big plan here? And I guess the other big plan is, where will the share price go if they sell this company, and what are they going to sell this company for if they did put it up for sale?
All good questions.
$1 million questions
there. Well, your analysis was fantastic and on point, and we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about this. Is there anything else that you think that would be important for current shareholders or others out there that are just looking at ITKH for the first time that you would add to what you've already talked about?
Well, with anybody that I talk to about any stock, the first thing that I always tell people is, go read the balance sheet. And if you don't know how to read a balance sheet, learn how to read it, because if you can't read it, you shouldn't be playing in the OTC.
Excellent point.
Because the balance sheet tells everything. And the financial reports tell you everything. They tell you whether, they owe money to 6 million people or is it a clean balance sheet. Right. To be quite honest with you, their balance sheet looks like something I used to do in college, my basic college accounting classes. It's just a real clean looking balance sheet, and that's what got me excited in the beginning about this company, was looking at that and then trying to figure out, why is the share price where it's at, and why do the financials look so good? So these are the things that I've been making my analysis on. I realized that the company had needed to borrow some money in the past to get the websites up and running and to get this company into a profitable situation. I know that there was dilution going on for the last all through 2011. It looks like that the major part of the dilution has gone away as of somewhere near the end of this year, end of 2011, somewhere near December 31st. It seems that the major diluter, which was the market maker under the labels of BMAS, he seems to have disappeared off of there. So it looks like that iTechnic in 2012 is the shareholders' turn. The dilution's gone. This thing's undervalued, in my opinion. I mean, I think 1/4% is really undervalued for this company. And I think it might be the shareholders' turn this year. The question is, what is this company really worth to shareholders? Is it worth a penny? Is it worth 5 cents? Is it worth 10 cents? I would like someone to tell me that.
Well, excellent analysis. I look at the websites and, especially the things that you just talked about in regards to private placement. What's important to shareholders, I'm sure, is to see that those things are being well used and to build the business. And I say that in regards to the way that they have this set up in SendGlobal.com for customers, for the functionality of their product, and to have it easily accessible to those that need this to call overseas, which obviously is putting together a very nice package, if you will. So thank you so much for taking the time out today to talk with us and chat a little bit about ITKH. It's definitely one of those companies that we will probably be keeping an eye on and see what will bring for the future. So thank you, Roger, very much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I would tell people to put it on their radar, but I don't know about you, but my stock radar is lucky it doesn't collapse because I track about 150 stocks at any one moment in time. So, put it in whatever special folder it is that you have for the one or two that you really want to keep an eye on.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
I just love it when it's on the boards and people, well, put this on your radar. It's like, I'm having structural problems.
Oh, so true, so true. Well, thanks again so much, Roger. We really appreciate you helping us out tonight because that was a lot of great information. So in case anybody's wondering, that was Roger Wilco. He's one of the great mods on the iHub boards, and this is iTechnic Holding Corporation, ticker symbol ITKH. Thanks so much. And I think we're going to kick it over to Siffy now for a chart analysis on ITKH. Siff, you there?
Yep, I'm here, and I like the chart. Looks really good. I'm looking at a daily, and I went ahead and pulled it out 1 year, 4 months, just so that you can see some of the moves that it's had. And let's start by looking at the CMF, the money flow, and you can see that it's definitely got a nice positive divergence. It's heading in the right direction, left-hand corner to right-hand corner, and it's cracked through that 50-day moving average. You guys know I love to throw my 50 MA on just about anything. And then coming down, looking at that PPO, same thing, going all the way back to March 2011. The thing bottomed out, and it's been tracking up nicely, and it's moving into positive territory right now, and it's got a nice little hook and trying to get back up through that 50. So I keep my eye on that. As for the RSI, same thing, nice positive divergence. It dipped below that 50. It's back above it now at 54.23, and it's facing in the right direction as well. So I like that. As for the actual chart, you go back to February 2011, where it really fell off a cliff. I'm sure it had something to do with something, dilution news, whatever it may be. And when it found its bottom there in April, you can see the accumulation distribution just really fell off, and it's kind of just been flatlining, but slowly picking back up. And you can see where we had, I think around June, you had that 0046. So that's going to be a point of reference. You also have got that in December, the 0035. I like that this candle. It almost looks like the same formation you see back setting up if you take away the chart and you look at the same setup where it did run to 4.6, not saying that's where it's going, but it almost looks like the same setup. It almost looks like the same candle where you had that 0020, a nice wick. Buyers stepped in and picked up the shares. Moving down to my ultimate oscillator, that thing's looking great. I love when it's above that 50 and it's moving up, and it's at around 68 right now. So there's strength, no doubt about that. And as for the last but not least, our slow stow, it found support off that 50 MA, and that's the first time it's done that, going all the way back to 2011. So that alone lets me know that there's somebody here, whatever the reason may be, this stock is moving up with strength, and definitely glad we did a spotlight on it. Roger, thanks for coming and sharing your knowledge about it. I'll definitely put this one on the watch list. I think it could be a winner chicken dinner.
Roger that.
As long as you don't put it
A winner.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go down, I'll be happy when I buy it.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Is it a buy, sell, or a hold? And I'm going to start with Haas.
Hey, no mocking me, bud. Come on now. Well, based on the share action over the course of the last week and the thin nature of the shares down at these levels, I am going to go with a hold for tomorrow, I think.
Hold for tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Siffy.
There we go. Sorry, computer's a little slow there. I'm going to have to go with the buy. I want to see a little bit of a dip first.
A little buy there.
But I think she closes green tomorrow.
Okay. Sumo, you're up. What do you think?
This is a pound the table buy for me. I really like the chart. The MACD's convergent and ready to cross. I'm giving it a buy all the way.
Okay. Cop is going to phone in a buy. QT, you're up.
Gotta go with the buy on this one. I'm totally feeling it this time. So this is the one that's going to change my record around. I can just feel it.
Yeah, we've been slip sliding here lately, haven't we?
Oh boy, it's been a rough week.
Yeah, certainly.
I'm going by.
All right. Well, I said to myself this afternoon that I'm going opposite of Siffy until he finally gets back on track. But I'm going to not do that tonight. I'll start next week. So I'll be a buy myself. All right. Very good.
So I'm the odd man out. That's what you're telling me.
You're the holder.
You're the oddball.
You're the holder. Holders are tough. The hold is tough.
Hey, long term, I'm a strong buy, and this company's solid, and it's growing.
Yeah, I mean, remember.
Just for tomorrow.
Right.
On the hold.
Just for tomorrow, and tomorrow is a Friday. So that's always a iffy day, either way you go.
Oh no, Friday! I forgot.
As long as Cop doesn't start painting stuff like he always does.
Yeah, he cheats a little bit.
He does.
A little cheating. Hey.
He does.
Whatever it takes for him to win.
He'll do anything to win.
You know how he is.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't like to lose.
Nope.
Doesn't like to lose. Okay, we're going to take a small commercial break here. After the break, we'll be back with what's buzzing on iHub and maybe a little surfing with Sifakia if his computer can keep up with him tonight. We'll see. If not, we'll do something else. We'll figure it out as we go. All right, we'll be right back after these words.
PennyChatterStocks.com, where our network becomes your game. There is no need for 6 or 7 sites to track your penny stock buzz. We've got chat, forums, blogs. You can integrate your Twitter, Facebook, Google+, MailChimp emailers all on one site so that your following comes with you. All it comes down to is the network, www.pennychatterstocks.com.
Stock Sumo, where we outweigh the competition, pushing and shoving our way to extreme profits in the penny stock arena. Go to StockSumo.com today to sign up for our free alerts via email or text message. StockSumo.com, where the gains are groundbreaking. Don't just take our word for it. Find out firsthand by heading over to StockSumo.com, home of the real heavy hitters.
Welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Haas, Zipakia, Stock Sumo, QT Cal, running and hiding from his mic, Gog Trader, on location, Cop, and special guest, Roger Wilco. Wow, that's a lineup.
I think we all need like a special sound or a signature sound, as our names are called. I think we got to work on that.
As soon as I figure out this stupid switchboard, I will get those sounds right out to you. I got way too many buttons to be pushing. I ain't pushing them during the show because, as QT knows, I'll put you in echo mode.
They'll sound like he's in a tunnel underneath the sewer, which is quite fun to hear.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, I'm looking at a little response here. Let's see. Anybody on the, okay. If you called in, I did not get to you. We did not have time, obviously, and then by the time I would have time, you had hung up. So, sorry about that. Try again. Anyway, let's throw it over to see what is hot on Investors Hub. Mr. Haas, take it.
All right, guys, I took a little bit of a different approach to choosing my 10 stocks for the night. It's not the 10 stocks that are on the homepage because we'd literally be repeating the same stocks over nightly. So I just kind of picked and chose a few different stocks that are kind of buzzing with some nice volume news and chatter on iHub. And as a little disclaimer, I own none of these stocks. I haven't owned any of these stocks recently, and I won't own any of these stocks in the near future. So I'm just bringing them to the forefront because they're kind of hot on iHub right now. All right, starting with number one, we got VVUS, ticker VVUS, Vivus Incorporated. The volume today, 59 million plus 77.54%. Currently trading at $18.73. Not a penny stock. Trading range of $18.54 to $21.44. Yesterday, the stock was actually halted. They were pending an FDA panel review for their key drug Qnexa in the treatment of obesity. And after hours yesterday, they came out with an FDA panel decision that supported the approval of the drug. They had a new drug application in the works. So that's just massive news for any type of biotech or biopharm stock when they get FDA approval for something like that. So the FDA panel supporting the approval of that drug could literally change the game for this company. If that drug gets approved and they put it on the market, they'll start bringing in some big revenues, especially in the giant obesity market. So one to keep an eye on in the future. Number two, GRNE, Green Endeavors. Today it had 334 million in volume, plus 125%, currently trading at 0009. Trading range today was 0004 to 0012. It had some news today that it retained Atlas Architects, and it received some funding commitments for its proposed Aveda Experience Center. You guys all know like the Aveda salons and stuff. They're putting one up in, I think it's Salt Lake City, Utah. Kind of a big share structure there, but that's pretty big news. I think they're shooting for July or something for that building to be constructed. Just the big volume and big money coming in right now. Trip zero stock, so enter at your own risk, but it's one to keep an eye on with this big volume coming in and the pending building of that Aveda Experience Center. Number 3 on the list, UNGS, U.S. Natural Gas Corp. Today's volume, 131 million, plus 90%. Currently trading at 0019. Trading range today was 0008 to 0021. This stock, oil and gas are huge, obviously. This company has a book value of $3 million, 100 plus producing oil wells right now, with more coming in the near future, as evidenced by the recent news. Their main oil wells are in Kentucky and Wyoming in the Appalachian Basin area. And they also recently announced a 400,000 to 650,000 share buyback over the next 24 months. So anytime you got big oil and natural gas stock trading in the 000s and 00s, and they're bringing in some pretty decent revenues already, and they're bringing a bunch of new oil wells to market, it's one to keep an eye on because they could go big if they get a bunch more oil wells and make some more acquisitions into the future here. Number 4 on the list, I have MedT, Media Technics Corp, ticker MEDT. Today's trading volume, 52 million, plus 21.43%. Currently trading at 0017. Trading range today was 0013 to 0026. Basically, this is just a buzz volume stock coming off the bottom. Share structure, we have an authorized share count, 980 million. Outstanding share structure, 700 million. But anytime you have a company that's been pretty silent for a little while and you get big volume, big share price increase and accumulation going on, it's one to keep an eye on for some news coming in the near future. So I would expect something coming there. Number 5 on the list, Heborium Group, ticker HBRM. Today's trading volume, 103.5 million, minus 46.67% today. But that was after a big spike earlier in the week here. Today it finished at 0024, trading range of 0023 to 0049. The big news that we got on Tuesday, I believe it was, February 21st, China Health Resource is actually going to take a 100% controlling interest in the Heborium Group. So it's basically a buyout. It didn't give all the terms of the buyout, but I'm assuming they're going to put out some news on that in the near future. So it obviously spiked big time on Tuesday, Wednesday after that news, and it took the big dip down today. But with the big dip down today, it might be a buying opportunity if you think that Heborium Group, the terms are going to be favorable for current shareholders, the buyout. And basically what Heborium Group does is, they have botanical therapeutic products. So it fits right into the China Health Resource company profile. Number 6 on the list, I have Aveda Incorporated, ticker EVDR. Today had 79 million trading volume, plus 40%. Currently trading at 0007. The trading range today was 0004 to 001. The big news they announced today is they just became Pink Sheet current. And recently they announced that they were selling their Indian construction subsidiary assets, ASCC. That's their Indian construction subsidiary assets. And basically what they're doing is they also announced that they're seeking out merger or reverse merger candidates. And they're in talks with a few different companies, supposedly, that have assets and revenues in the multi-millions of dollars already. And so keep an eye out for, news on the selling of their current assets and or bringing in a new merger candidate. And with the big volume today, it's trading at 0007. I would expect the accumulation to continue over the midterm before they announce some merger candidates. Number 7 on the list, I have NSRS, North Spring Resources Incorporated. Today's trading volume was 92.5 million, minus 32%. Finished at 23.6 cents. Trading range today was 20 cents to 37 cents. And basically, I just wanted to bring this one to light as the classic pump and dump. We profiled this one on Stock Radio a while back, and, it basically made the huge run from 20 cents to $2 or whatever it was. And the CEO held a bunch of shares after some forward splits and whatnot. And I'm sure he was selling shares on the way up. I'm sure he was diluting on the way up. Who knows? I don't know that for sure. We're just speculating here. And, now comes the dump after the big, week or two long pump. And it's right back down where it started, near 20 cents. And if I remember correctly, I think Cop called that after the first day of the pump. Moving down the list, we got number 8, AWSR, America West Resources. Today's trading volume, 7.8 million, plus 344.83%. Currently trading at $1.29. Today's trading range was 27.8 cents to $1.80. This is a coal asset, coal mining company. Big assets and revenues, but they're still operating at a loss. So they're still working into that profitable territory. But the big thing that caused the spike today, there were a bunch of Form 5s filed yesterday. So, insiders acquiring their shares based on loans that they've given to the company in the past and whatnot. So lots of insiders accumulating shares. Follow the money. That's why people were buying today. Number 9 on the list, AGCZ, Andes Gold Corp. Today's trading volume, 2.5 million, plus 33.33%, currently trading at 4.8 cents. Today's trading range, 3.6 cents to 4.9 cents. And basically, you have a company here, mining company, with 4 to 5 million in gross income over the course of 2011, which is up 40% from 2010. And as we approach the mining season in the spring here, some of these mining companies tend to get a life of their own and accumulation as they bring out the resource estimates and production estimates in early spring. And this one, it's coming up off of that bottom around that 1 cent area that it was kind of hanging out for quite a while. So, again, follow the money. Look at the accumulation over the course of the last few months. I would anticipate some pretty big news in the near future regarding, a resource estimate or increased production. Moving down the list, the final one I got on my list for today is King, ticker KING, King Resources. 55 million in volume today, finished at plus 50% at 0012. Trading range 0007 to 002. They just had a general corporate update today. I suggest you go look at that because there was some pretty significant stuff on there. They recently brought in the company through reverse merger, the Grid Grabber, basically involved with battery storage and power. Current share structure there is 2 billion authorized and 1.5 billion outstanding share count with a float of 488 million. But I strongly suggest you go read that corporate update they put out today. There's lots of good stuff in there. I'm not going to go over all of it, but again, follow the money. This one's coming off a bottom, and I expect it to continue in the near future as it slowly creeps up and some of those corporate updates come to fruition. That's all I got for today.
Fantastic work there, Haas. Very well done. Thank you. Okay, what we're going to do here, I only have a few minutes left in the show. So I have Stock Sumo requesting airtime, and I'm going to give it to him. Stock Sumo.
Hey, guys, one of the things I learned at this great expo that I went to last week was a certain point on the chart that I noticed that AGCZ exists.
I never said how much airtime I was going to give you, but I gave it to you. So be thankful for that. No, I'm only kidding, man. Go ahead.
Today's candle on the chart is what is referred to as a bull tail, and the last time it made it on this chart was 1, 2, 3 trading sessions ago. Now what it is there's a long tail followed by a short stick at the top. Now if you notice, 3 days ago when the stock went from what was it, the 2-cent range all the way up to 3.25, it made that bullish tail right there. So I really like that stick that it's showing us on the chart today, and it's it's not often that you see those. And follow the money, baby.
Is that your whole chart reading?
That's my chart reading.
Okay.
Well, isn't that extra special?
Fantastic work there, Sumo. Zippy, you want to take a couple minutes?
I just wanted to point out one thing real quick, since yesterday I was talking about the different sectors and which sector was leading and which one was not leading, and I think you guys remember me saying something about electric generators being the worst. Well, while I was kicking back here looking at some stuff, I was looking at the electric generators, and over the last 5 days, they've kind of been coming out of the doldrum. I mean, you look from the year-to-date to the 250-day, the 125, the 63, the 21, the 10, all the way down. It's starting to come out. And when I pull up that sector, the one that got beat up the worst was ticker DYN. All right, guys? This is Dinergy. Dinergy. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but then I pulled up the chart on it. So I like it. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Definitely put it on my watch list, guys. I love buying losers.
Fantastic. Okay. For those of you that don't know, Stock Traders Talk Radio has a brand new website out, stocktraderstalk.com. Come check us out. We're pretty proud of the work we've done. Still updating a few pages there. You can follow Siffy, and he has his watch list going on. He'll have some videos up there for you. Siffy, you want anything else you're going to have on that page?
Who knows? It's a work of art in progress right now, work in progress.
Just going to keep adding to it. So you might want to check out his page. Also, Cop has his own page on there. And I'm sure as we go, each host will have their own page. Not me, because I never have nothing to talk about. Don't forget, Sunday, 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday, we air at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do have a couple of CEO interviews lined up next week, so pay attention for those. Also, don't forget, poker. If you're a poker player, we're going to start playing again Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's absolutely free to play. It's just a bunch of traders in a poker tournament, elimination tournament, and we sit there and we just talk. I mean, basically, the weeks that we play, we don't even talk about stocks. We just kind of just chat. So it's a nice little way to get the week started, and come join us. For those out there listening, we want to thank you for coming on Stock Traders Talk Radio. Cop, enjoy your stay wherever you are. Don't spend too much money, please. You know, McDonald's is just as good as, Fridays or any of those other good places, all right? $8 compared to $30.
Go get yourself a good old beer, Cop.
Keep it in check, my friend. Keep it in check. God only knows. All right. We'll be back Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. From all of us here at Stock Traders Talk Radio, to all of you out there in Stock Trader Talk land, we wish you the best in all your trades, and may your portfolio always be green. This is Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out.
Aloha. Yes.
And mahalo, yeah.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.